A bipartisan bill introduced by Republican Senator Rand Paul and Democrat Senator Tom Udall, moving to finally end the nearly 20-year war in Afghanistan, was struck down by lawmakers last night overwhelmingly, 60-33. The Paul Udall amendment would have also repealed the 2001 AUMF that has been used to justify various military action all around the world. Now, over in the House, the Armed Services Committee unanimously, 56-0, approved a mammoth defense policy bill to give over $740 billion to the National Defense Authorization Act.
And the FBI says that they have arrested the British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell on charges relating to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Maxwell, who has kept a very low profile since Epstein's death last August, was arrested in New Hampshire. Jeffrey Epstein was accused of raping and trafficking underage girls over nearly 2 decades. Well, the charges that she has been charged with have just been revealed by the FBI. She's facing 6 indictments: conspiracy to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sex acts, and also enticing minors to travel, conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sex acts and transporting minors, and 2 counts of perjury.
Tomorrow, I sent out a letter today to Mr. Trump, advising him and stating reasons why he is not permitted to enter the treaty territory at this time due to the lack of consultation with the sovereign leaders of the Great Sioux Nation. There's been no correspondence from his staff or himself to ever attempt to sit down diplomatically with the leaders of the Great Sioux Nation to obtain that permission or to contingently seek a plan on how to go about his Independence Day celebration. Right now, for me, it's very hard to remain diplomatic in times like this due to the lack of consultation. My people, it is in our DNA to fight for these lands, to defend these lands, and to protect what is sacred. And Mount Rushmore is carved on one of our most sacred mountains.
This is the last moment Jamal Khashoggi was seen alive. It's October the 2nd, 2018. The journalist who wrote for the Washington Post newspaper had gone to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to get documents he needed for his wedding. His Turkish fiancée, Hatice Cengiz, waited for him outside. Turkish prosecutors say he was murdered, his body dismembered, and the remains never found. 20 Saudis indicted for murder are to be tried in their absence in a court in Istanbul. Police say security camera video and photographs show the Saudi suspects arriving in Istanbul on the day Khashoggi was killed. Other video evidence shows them checking into a hotel, going to the consulate before returning to the airport and leaving that night.
Judges are deliberating after hearing evidence against 30-year-old jihadist Tyler Vilus. He's facing a possible life sentence for terrorism charges. He's accused of being a high-ranking member of the Islamic State group and of overseeing executions in Syria. He's also admitted to being in contact with Abdelhamid Abaoud, the man French secret services believe masterminded the 2015 terrorist attacks here in Paris.
This is a really high-profile terror trial here in France. Tyler Vilus is the highest-ranking jihadist, French jihadist, to face trial back in his home country for crimes committed in Syria, and he is accused on numerous counts of leading a terrorist organisation, which is a first relating to the Islamic State group's activities for a French suspect.
Cracking apart criminal networks, police across the UK have made hundreds of arrests after infiltrating an encrypted phone system used by suspected top-tier criminals. They've seized guns, drugs and cash amounting to millions of dollars.
During the course of the operation, which has obviously been run by the NCA, regional and police forces, we have arrested so far 746 individuals. We've seized over 77 firearms, 4 hand grenades, just under 2 tons of drugs, which is worth £80 million on the streets, and we've seized over £54 million of criminal cash. So it is a massive law enforcement operation and success.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has called for maximum alert against the COVID-19. According to a report from Pyongyang's Korean Central News Agency, the pandemic was the main agenda of a meeting Thursday of the North's ruling Workers' Party.
We have carefully prevented an invasion of the deadly virus and have maintained a stable situation despite the global health crisis. This is a successful achievement.
Appearing in the state media for the first time in 25 days, Kim Jong-un warned that easing the regime's COVID-19 prevention measures could lead to serious crisis. Kim emphasized the need for strengthen those measures until COVID-19 situation stabilizes. This was the second time that North Korean Politburo has dealt with COVID-19 as its main agenda, the first being 3 months ago. In South Korea, Moon Jong-in, a special advisor to the president, said in an interview on Friday that this could mean that the COVID-19 situation in North Korea could be quite serious.
Then we went to the spot and we just asked some people there what happened. They told us that the Mujahideen attacked the security forces, and in that process they lost numerous persons, security persons. And to take the revenge, they took my uncle out of his car when he was carrying his grandson in his lap, and they breasted him on the back.
Oh, I take his bishop first.
Byron Bernstein, known to Twitch users as Reckful, has died. The beloved gamer and esports player had close to 1 million subscribers on the platform and was one of the highest-ranking World of Warcraft players. At the time of his death, he was reportedly working on developing a game called Everland that was set to be released this year.
It was really sad. I wanted to win it so bad.
Bernstein's cause of death has not yet been revealed. His ex-girlfriend tweeted that someone she loved took their own life. Bernstein had opened up about his battle with depression to his followers in the past. Hours before his death, he tweeted, "I feel bad for anyone who has to deal with my insanity."
A discreet man who has just been thrown into the spotlight. Jean Castex's latest mission was to draw up the policy for easing France's coronavirus lockdown under Edouard Philippe. When it comes to experience, Castex ticks all the right boxes. Some have even compared him to a Swiss army knife, sharp with multiple networks. Up until recently, the 55-year-old was the interministerial delegate for the Olympic and Paralympic Games of 2024. In 2007, as seen in these images, he was the cabinet director for the then Minister of Health, Xavier Bertrand, a right-wing politician. Castex is also close to Nicolas Sarkozy.